Hey, it's John from Bankrupt Acres. Thanks for clicking on the video. We really appreciate it. We're building a barn dominium here in eastern Iowa and would love for you guys to follow along as we head through this process. So, my work takes me out of town sometimes. I'm actually sitting in a hotel right now, and I thought it'd be a good time. You don't have to look at my face for this video, so I thought we'd go through the plans, kind of tell you where we're at right now on the project, and hopefully you can see our vision by the end of this. So a couple things that were already at the property when we moved in was a septic system that we approved through the county to make sure it would match the apartment that we already have on the property, and the 4-bedroom house that we're going to build. So that all meets spec. There's a well already in place, so we didn't have to worry about that. So mainly we're dealing with the WIC building design and the interior of the WIC building design for the barn. So to give you an overline on the timeline, we're waiting on WIC's buildings to get us our permit drawings, which have to be submitted to the county. Once the county approves that, we let WIC's know that there's no changes needed, and the building should be on our property in about 2 weeks after that. The problem is we can't put the footings in until we get the permit from the county, and we'll have to wait about a week to start construction of the building after the concrete is poured for the footings. We're going to construct the building, and then we'll pour the slab on the interior after the building is all up. So it'll kind of look like we have a house, and we won't. But that's the way they do it. So the other issue is, and we'll have another video on that, but the biggest problem so far is we've got our kitchen cabinets coming with no place to store them, and we've held them off as long as they can. So I think they're getting delivered on July 10th, 12th. And I know for a fact that we will not have a building up by any means. So we're going to have to store them in our open barn. We're going to have to find a way to protect them, and I'm sure that will be a whole video in itself. That's kind of turned into a nightmare. But so now let's go ahead and I'm kind of showing the outside views of the design. We are missing a couple things that the WIC's program couldn't accommodate. So the covered entrance for our main door, it doesn't show up, but for the most part it is. The pictures at the beginning look a little darker than I think it is. But so here's the interior. We used a program called KeyPlan 3D. Someone gave us a tour of their barn dominium that they had just built, and this is what they used to design their interior. Nikki and I really liked it. It's an iOS app. It goes across multiple platforms, so she could be on her iPhone, I could be on my iPad, and they sync. And we can just, when I make a change, she can see it, and vice versa. And it worked out really nice. So we kind of came up with this plan on our own. Our builder was all for us not going to a professional architect to design the interior. He liked the plan that we had, and he sends it to WIC for the structural loadings for the upper floor, and then we'll work with him just getting the interior the way we want it when we start construction on the interior. So let's start off on the bottom right corner. You'll see it's hard to tell between windows and doors, but the far right bottom corner, that is a window. The next one over to the left, that's our main entrance door. We'll have a covered entrance for that, and you come in, there'll be a master closet on the left. One door up from that will be our master bedroom, and to the right will be our kitchen table, and that's kind of our dining room. So after the dining room area, if you keep continuing on, that length of the width of the building is 40 feet. So if you come up and turn left, you're going to be into our L-shaped kitchen. We spend a lot of time, hopefully, with our family and entertaining. We got a big extended family, so we did put a little more money into the kitchen than we probably should have, but we figured that's where we probably spend most of the time in our life. So it's not super expensive kitchen. We bought it from Menards, but I think we're going to really like it. So the island's 10 feet long. There's going to be a lot of cabinets, and we also bought cabinets for our pantry. So if you continue on down on the south side of the building, that's our kind of uh, entertainment living area for that space. It'll be open above, so the dining table and that area will be open to 20 to 25 feet ceilings, 25-foot ceilings. And then if you continue around the kitchen, there's a little hallway. There'll be a door out to the covered porch. There's a covered porch on part of the south side and all of the west side. So back behind the kitchen cabinets on that wall, there'll be on the other side of that wall will be a hallway, an L-shaped hallway. And that'll actually come in from our shop. As you can see, there's a main entrance door for our shop. Comes in L-shaped turn, and you can go into our kitchen and grate area. On the other side of that, as we come in, there'll be our laundry room right here. It'll be in the hallway. We'll have our washer and dryer. And back behind that wall will be the first spare bedroom that we'll probably use as an office. There'll also be a half bath there in that hallway right next to that room for guests. We have a closet that's going to be built in to that room, and it also kind of is built in under the stairs. So that's probably going to be a little bigger than shown. The stairs showing there are what's going up to the second story. So there you can see the main entrance from our shop. So we'll have about a 2,000 square foot. There was a lot of discussion about the garage door. We ended up going with a 26-foot garage door, 14-foot tall. And I'm not sure if that's what it shows in this drawing, but that's what we got. So went back and forth between three. We started out with 3 doors is what we wanted, and we ended up with 1 door. I know we're going to lose some heat in the winter when we drive in and out of it, but there is a short close system on the garage door opener. So hopefully it won't be too bad. And for us, the savings we got from just going to 1 door was worth it. So in the bottom right corner, you can see our utility room. So there's 3 rooms in the shop area. We've got a safe room, which is just a prefab cement safe room for tornadoes up here in Iowa. And above that, we've got a full bath. We're going to have a shower, toilet. We do entertain. We hope to entertain in the big shop area too. So it'd be nice to have a restroom out there. The utility room is something we're not sure about how that's going to work. We've got a lot of stuff to put in there. We have a lot of iron in our water. So we're going to have a water softener. We're going to have an iron system, and we're going to have a purification system to go to the refrigerator and our drinking water. We're going to have the geothermal for in-floor heat and all the in-floor PEX tubings coming into that room. We'll also have all the geothermal piping coming into that room for both the air-to-water and the air-to-air system, which will be above it on a mezzanine. And so there's going to be a lot of stuff. Hopefully we have enough room in there. So coming over here, then you can see as you walk in the door, from the shop to the hallway where the laundry is, the first right turn, that's our master closet. And again, it's super big, but we don't have a basement in this house, and we have always had a basement to store stuff. So it's going to be a huge room, but we figured we made everything a little bigger because we know we're not going to have the storage we used to have. And we need to slim down on all the stuff we have. We have way too much junk, and we've done a good job so far, but we like having the big rooms to put things in that we just don't have spots for since we don't have the basement. The pantry, same way, it's oversized. There may not be a door on the pantry, so you'll come in from the garage, go right in the pantry, and then there'll be a door right into the kitchen. So it'll be a nice flow to get your groceries in, either put it in the pantry or take it right to the refrigerator. And we can go back down here then to the master bedroom. Again, not as big, but we don't spend a ton of time in our bedroom. Our tough spot will be figuring out where we're going to want to put the TV, because it's kind of a weird shaped room. So, but we'll figure that out. The window will be kind of right opposite the bed, hopefully. And once we move from there, we can go into our master bathroom. So the master bathroom, we're going to have a separate room for the toilet, and then we'll have a double vanity as you turn right as you enter it from our master bedroom. We also have a standing tub there. We'll hopefully have a little shelf behind there. And then the shower is not quite representative. Again, this uh, Keyplan 3D app is great, but it has limited vanities and tubs and showers and all that. So this shower is not going to be as big as it depicts. And there may be a room on the back of that that you can access through the master closet for like maybe a gun safe or something there. So that'll be a tiled shower, uh, freestanding tub that you saw before, and we'll have a shelf behind there to put towels on and different things. And then we'll have a little shelf area as you enter the master closet there. As you exit the master bathroom, there'll be one for towels and linens. So let's hop upstairs and we'll show you the upstairs here. So as I zoom in. So let's start where the stairs are coming up. That's going to be an L-shaped stairs. You'll enter on the south side of the upstairs. We've got a bed depicted there, and two desks in front of each window, but that could be a fold-out couch. We just put it in there to see the spacing. But it's going to be a wide open loft area. We're going to have a theater area, hopefully surround sound, at least pre-wired for that, and a pretty big TV there if we can afford it. We'll probably be bankrupt like the video titled, but that's the long-term plan. So then come down, we're going to have two bedrooms upstairs. One is a little bigger than the other. Nikki would like to have maybe a double bunk bed deal if we do a VRBO, built-in bunk beds, which I think is kind of a cool idea. Each room will have their closet, and then there'll be one door. So it's not a Jack and Jill, but there'll be one door to the bathroom, which is fairly nice sized. And we plan to tile that shower up there also. And it's just going to be a shower, not a tub shower. So this little line here depicts, a railing, and that's where the loft looks down over the grate area. So, and remember, the ceilings in this barn door are going to be 20-foot walls. So anywhere from 25 to 20 feet for the ceiling height on that room. So it's going to be a nice open area to look down on. So that's about the extent of the tour there for our design. I'd love to, if you got feedback, hey, give it to me now, because we're in the process of, we can make changes still. We've got the time, but it's getting down to where it's almost too late. But I think we're still there where we can make some. This is depicting a stair up to our mezzanine, and that's where our air-to-air geothermal, or I'm sorry, liquid to air geothermal system is for the forced air. So we'll have forced air, heat, and air conditioning, and that'll be on the mezzanine in the shop. But I really do appreciate you finding this video. Be kind to each other, and thanks again. We are having a fun time kind of doing this, and I look forward to putting out more videos as we go through this process. There'll be a lot more to come. Thanks.